So this is a response to Paddy's 5 items you're going to take on a rescue mission, I think, is the way it's kind of set. And most of the stuff is already taken care of for you. He's already said you got your food situation is squared away, and your clothing situation is squared away. So I'm going to take that into light in all the choices that are being made here, because really, I think what he's talking about are what are those 5 knives or other things or tools that you're going to want to take to supplement what is already being given to you, which includes your rations and all the proper clothing and so on and so forth. And as he put it, you're going there as part of a rescue team, so you're not going by yourself. There's going to be other people with you. And what you're doing is going to actually go to help others, not so much, you're not really worrying about survival on your own part. However, this is like contingency stuff. What things do you think you should bring with you just in case? And said don't take more than 10 minutes to figure this out. And I sent right away a message back to him and said, well, first of all, that's going to be 5 things on top of my regular everyday carry items, because I'm not going to take those out of my pocket just to go and do that other stuff. So right away, I mean, my 5-inch toothpick, my Victorinox Explorer, and the little Spyderco Dragonfly are going with me anyway because they're in my pocket. Same along with a P38 because it's on my keychain, so that's going with me, as well as a little classic SD which is on my keychain. So all of that's going with me anyway. So this is 5 things on top of that. And so, you know, I've got 10 minutes to figure out, because I got to leave in 10 minutes with all this stuff. And so the first thing is, well, what would you grab? Well, the first thing I would end up grabbing is my go bag. I mean, that's why I got it set up to begin with. And yeah, there's a lot of crap in here, and a lot of the stuff in here I might not even need. For instance, there's a short little fishing pole on there. I got a bait knife and a fillet knife. I may not need them. I might need them. I don't know. I do know my outrider is on there, my Victorinox outrider. I'm sure that would come in handy, but will I need all the other fishing stuff? No. But then there's 100 feet of paracord in here, and there's a small survival kit in here that I have. So some of that stuff's going to come in handy, some of it's not, but that takes care of a big chunk of what I would need. And am I cheating? Maybe some people would say so, but you know, the whole reason I made a go bag to begin with was in case I needed to go somewhere really quickly and all I had time to do was grab this. So I've got my survival whistle already on there, got a manicure set and all that other stuff already here, just in case. So that's the first thing I do, is I grab my go bag. So that's one item as far as I'm concerned. And then I've got 4 more items that I'm going to have to grab specifically for this mission on this little small island. I'm going to say it's in the Caribbean, thus the shirt, but the shirt's not one of the items. In any case, let's move on. After the go bag, I would grab the following 4 items. Go bag first, 4 more items to go. So now I'm going to need to grab a fixed blade. I know I've already got 2 other fixed blades on there, a fillet knife and a bait knife. Both of those would be good for camping and stuff, but I think I'm going to need something maybe a little more heavy duty. But I also think probably the best one I have right now is probably my Air Force survival knife. I'd probably grab that. Yeah, that's probably what I'd end up grabbing. It's got about a 5-inch blade and a 5-inch handle. You can pound with this end if you need to, and it comes with a little sharpening stone. So that's probably what I'd end up grabbing, this particular knife. Will I need it? I don't know, because I don't know exactly when I'm going to run into the island. I mean, it might just be one big hotel resort and don't really need a knife at all, because other than something to cut a steak with. But just in case, I would probably grab that knife and I would strap it onto the go bag and get ready to move with that. And then I probably need something a little bit bigger. And so let's see what the big knife is that I would probably grab. Okay, so for big blades, I'm thinking maybe machete, maybe axe, something like that. And so what I would probably end up grabbing is right here, my Woodsman's Pal. And I've used this before, so I'm kind of familiar with it, which is always helpful. Just as well grab something that you're familiar with and not just something that's hanging on the wall. And here you have it. So you got a nice sharp blade going along all the way up to there. That's the cutting edge from there to there. This is blunt around here, so you can push things out of the way. You can actually kind of dig with it, you can pry with it and everything else. And over on this side you have a hook bill with a sharp edge here. Right there is the sharp edge on the hook bill. And you can use that to pull briars back, or you can actually come down and chop into small branches to break them loose and stuff. But really, this is the chopping edge, and this is it's not a thin blade. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick or so. So this is not a lightweight machete. This is actually used for something a little heavier. You could probably cut through bamboo with it with no problem. You can also cut down hardwood trees with it and stuff like that. So if I need to cut something, 4 or 5 inches thick, I would probably go and use the Woodsman's Pal for that. For anything smaller, those 2 or 3 inch branches, I just pull out the little saw and the outrider and use that. But this would probably be the workhorse for any kind of hard cutting that I need to do. Woodsman's Pal. Now, another item, this is the third item. First was the go bag, second was the Air Force survival knife. Now the Woodsman's Pal is number 3. For my fourth item, I'm going to grab Old Faithful, and that's my old entrenching tool. And it's nice and small, doesn't take up too much room, folds out nice and neat. You never know when you're going to need to dig an emergency latrine or have to dig something out. And if you don't have a shovel handy, you can use this. Plus, you've got a cutting edge and a cutting edge here, so you can actually cut through tree roots and stuff like that with this. And you can also just scrape and everything else with it. So I would probably make that my fourth choice as my entrenching tool. I'd grab my entrenching tool and take that with me. Matter of fact, often when I go camping or something, this ends up in the car anyway, so it would make sense to take it with me now too. And because it folds up nice and small, doesn't take up too much room. Yes, it's heavy, but this is not one of those cheap chintzy ones. This is the one that was issued to me in the Army. So this is a solid one. It's well made and it will take abuse. I've actually cut down a tree with it, and I don't know how many foxholes I've dug with it. So if you can dig a 6-foot deep hole with this, you can pretty much get through quite a bit of stuff with it. So I grab my entrenching tool. And that leaves my fifth item that I'm going to bring. And don't laugh, but this is the fifth item that I'm going to take with me. And so, the fifth thing, simply because I was smart and set up a go bag ahead of time, I have a few minutes to figure out what I want to do with my fifth item that I can grab. And well, it really didn't take much effort at all, because all I have to do is think back of my time in the Army, and every time I went back out in the field, guess what? My choice of beverage was coffee, and I don't drink coffee. Never have, and I just don't like the stuff. So this isn't a nod towards Paddy, but this is the next thing I would grab. This is the fifth item I would grab. It is a tea and a tea ball. I'm counting this as one item, because I could always just grab tea bags also, but that's what I would grab, some tea. Because at the end of the day, when you're finished doing all that stuff, you're going to want to unwind a little bit, and you're going to want to have something to drink, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a cup of tea. So that's my fifth item. Cup of tea, Patty. Thanks for the challenge.